We might just get hit with the Rico.
Me Millie, cause we in the field with them bird like we play for the Eagles. I'm on probation, so let me not talk what's illegal. Switch it up. Today I woke up with my drinker, she rich as a beetle. For my teachers that said I won't make it here, I spent it.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Joey Shake 72 coming to you guys with a video. Yes, on vacation, gonna do a little video of the OTAs from yesterday, the little notes that I do have from what I've read and what I've seen so far. So let's start off with Media Day. Was yesterday, taking all the pictures, the photos, the guys having fun. Saw you know the primetime games where they kind of like do their little thing if they show their stats on the screen and they like do their little poses and shit, which was cool. Showing a whole video of that with Nelson Agholor. I saw Carson Wentz. I saw Zach Ertz. Derek Barnett has his his moments. Has the best poses. Are ridiculous. And then you have, I thought I saw Richard Rodgers. I saw Goddard in there. That was cool to watch. So hopefully you guys could actually watch that. I think the Philadelphia Eagles posted that on their Twitter and their YouTube. So check that out. So I want to go and get into the first. Let's get right down dirty with it right now. So Devontae Booker is still with the first team defense playing in the nickel spot. The guy is still turning it up on the field, okay? He's showing it during the field. From what I've read, he was covering Nelson Agholor all day and literally kept with him the whole day. So that was pretty damn cool. Devontae Booker is becoming this unsung hero that I like to call him. And hey, I can't wait to see him on the field, especially when preseason comes and we're facing guys in other jerseys. So Devontae Booker, man, from a practice squad player to a starter, this would be a great story for him. And for him to play well this year would be an even better story. So Corey Unlin, the cornerback coach, was talking mostly, about all the corners, of course. But to go one specific is Sidney Jones. A reporter asked him if Sidney Jones, how has Sidney Jones looked, and how has he actually looked out there, and what has he been doing, and what's the difference between him this year and last year? Like I said, most likely the no rehab. He's got full training. He goes through 3 phases of training camp this year without rehabbing. Someone asked him, hey, is Sidney Jones in the mix for a starting spot? And Corey Unlin said, oh, yes, he is. He's in the mix. He's in the mix for that starting spot. I don't know if it's at nickel, at outside, everywhere. And the one thing that everybody had to say about these corners, especially Corey Unlin said about these corners, there's really nobody over somebody else. He said all of them are playing very, very well, which is crazy because it's been, 8 practices, and everybody's pretty much together. I mean, the corners have been playing very well in camp. They've been doing very well together as a unit, and then the competition is real, guys. Like we said, the competition. You guys, some of these new guys coming in are facing the Super Bowl champs last year, so you're facing the best of the best, okay? So that's what I really have to say about that. Corey Unlin was he had praise for these corners and how they've been playing. This secondary is going to look a lot better than it did last year, I'll tell you that much. So another outstanding star at minicamp yesterday was Marcus Wheaton, trying to get that 5th spot on the roster. Okay, and Marcus Wheaton beat Darby for a touchdown. He had 2 touchdowns actually by Nate Sudfeld yesterday. So he's been standing out. He's been using his big body. He's been creating space with his big body and his quick feet. So if the guy can create space and make catches with this offense, then hey, this guy's going to get a roster spot. And I think if Shelton Gibson doesn't come through, Tim Wilson doesn't come through, Bryce Treggs is definitely not coming through. You have Greg Ward, now Marcus Wheaton now to get that other spot. So Marcus Wheaton has been turning it up, especially in the red zone. Another guy that's been standing out, which is Nelson Agholor. And Nelson Agholor has been absolutely amazing. He was amazing yesterday. Caught really good slant passes for a turn up for 15, 20 yards. Looks a lot faster, looks a lot better. Hey, I think he can actually have a better year. Last year was his year. Now, this year coming up, you know, I wish we could take those 2 years back from him. They only had over 300 yards receiving in 2 years when he first got into the league, when we first drafted him at 21 overall, whatever it was. So very excited about that. But everyone else has been playing well. Michael Bennett has finally returned. It's like we said, it's been full attendance for minicamp, for mandatory minicamp for all the guys. So Michael Bennett was interviewed, talked about all what's going on with the stuff that happened in the offseason. Pretty much said, I'm not worried about that. My lawyer's handling it. I'm focusing on being a good father, husband, a good citizen of this community, and a great football player and a great teammate to all my teammates. So Michael Bennett was practicing with the second team defense yesterday. Doesn't really matter whether he practices with first or second or whatever, because the rotation just keeps going after 5 plays. So Jim Schwartz has the rotation. Michael Bennett loves Jim Schwartz, love what he's doing. Michael Bennett pretty much said that he needs to get the terminology down right to get everything going. So he's pretty much doing that. And, you keep forgetting what Michael Bennett, especially he could play outside and he could play inside. He could play as a D tackle. He's big enough to play as a D tackle, but he's better as a D end. I mean, he plays both positions very, very well. That's why, two-dimensional guys, especially on the line, are great, playing more than one. If you can play end and you can play tackle, that's huge, okay? With the Timmy Jernigan injury going on, not knowing what we're going to do with him, we really haven't signed a replacement guy, a D tackle to probably put in there. We'll see if Elijah Qual steps up. We'll see if some guys actually do step up. About Josh Sweat yesterday, and nothing different really. He looks even more explosive than he did last week. And I think that Josh Sweat will get a lot of playing time, especially with Tim Jernigan being out. Unless they don't sign somebody, I think Josh Sweat will get a lot of reps yesterday. So that's with that. Now, Carson Wentz he actually had not a great day yesterday. I mean, he completed some passes yesterday, but I think he threw about 2 picks in the red zone yesterday. Ronnie McLeod ended up with a pick, and then he tried to force another one to Nelson Agholor in the red zone and got another pick. I'm not worried about that. I'm not. It's one fucking day. It's not like when Blake Bortles last year, he threw 6 picks against his defense last year in training in 7-on-7s. Now, Carson Wentz, I saw some video of Carson Wentz doing some kind of maneuvering and kind of doing some Press Taylor, the QB coach, was kind of throwing some, kind of working on his pocket presence, kind of working on his pocket engagement, where he would, Carson Wentz would hike the ball and Press Taylor would be throwing little mini tennis balls at him. And he'd kind of be going back and forth to where the tennis ball would be a player trying to tackle him. So he's been working on his pocket presence. So we all know that Carson Wentz cannot, we can't get him hit a lot this year. I think it was the most hit quarterback last year. Carson Wentz has been, I keep watching every day. And honestly, any week that goes by, he looks better, more agile. The brace don't look like it's handicapped him in a way we all think it would, but it wasn't, okay? It's been very nice to see him, and to see him just so easily going back and forth, very easily, and I have no problem. If Wentz has one bad day, I'm not going to go crazy over it, like everyone else probably would. Any other guys have been standing out? Well, Ronald Darby actually was beat by Mike Wallace a few times during practice on some deep routes. He actually batted one down from Mike Wallace on a deep pass downfield. And we all know the Darby situation, what's going on. Will he be traded? Will he not be traded? Will they keep him? I don't think Ronald Darby's a bad player. I don't think he's the best player in the world, but I think he could make a very good contribution to this defense with this pass rush. I think he'll play better this year, second year in the system. I say just give it time. But Ronald Darby should, he's got the speed. The cover skills, they're okay, but at the same time, it's when you're a small corner, it's very hard. Devontae Max, another guy, small corner, another type of Ronald Darby player, but I think that Avonte Maddox has more of the speed than Ronald Darby has. I believe that Avonte Maddox that we drafted this year has a 4.2, 4.3 speed. Because I see the speed just by looking at a video. I can see the speed every time he does a drill. I can see he's very quick, very agile, and he can run for days. What I'm seeing is a lot of competition, and the competition's doing really well. Didn't hear much about the linebackers yesterday. I watched the stream of the linebackers working out yesterday, but nothing crazy went on with the linebackers yesterday, unless something was left out that I didn't see or read or didn't hear about. So that's really all I got to say about all this, guys. So the wide receivers, everyone's putting up competition. That's all that matters with this whole thing. Competition is where it all matters, and they're getting it done. So these corners have so much competition this year. The depth is crazy, and some people are like, "Why do we have so much depth? There's too much depth." It's not the depth. The depth is great. The more depth you have, it doesn't mean that all these guys are going to get signed. It doesn't mean there's probably an extra 5-6 corners out there right now, okay, that are battling for spots. But the corner spot is is awesome because now you can really see who's gonna shine, and you're already seeing who's shining, who's going to be outside, who's inside. Even Jim Schwartz said that these guys could play inside and outside. If all these guys could play outside and inside at the corner spot, this is going to be very well. Just in case an injury pops up or something happens, it's crazy. Corey Owen talked about Rasul Douglas as well. I mean, he said he didn't play amazing last year, but he did very well, okay? He did very well. He did say he didn't play amazing, but I thought he played pretty fucking well for a guy that's stepping in after the Ronald Darby injury, coming in, getting a pick in the fucking Giants game against Brandon Marshall, getting a pick, almost a few picks. The Denver Bronco game, that was called back. Man. Another news is Corey Owen actually said that they want to bring, I think Doug Pearson, I forgot which one said it, but they want to bring Corey Graham back. And this was a topic that we talked about, but they want Corey Graham back. They think that Corey Graham could be signed. Now, Corey Graham was signed last year during training camp last year, so he was signed very late, but he knows this system. Bringing back Corey Graham on a cheap would be very awesome. A veteran minimum would be freaking awesome. So Corey Graham, bring him back. You need that third safety. The third safety spot is another thing that Corey Owen talked about as well. Corey Owen talked about Jeremy Reeves being in there. Trey Sullivan has been a hard-hitting. Now, it's not even that Corey Owen even said that Trey Sullivan, he was known as the hard hitter last year, but he said once you get on practice squad and you stay there, it's hard for you to get that playing time. Trey Sullivan has looked very well out there, even without pads. He's been getting into the right spots. He's been doing what he's got to do, and he's been making the fucking tackles, and he's been doing everything. Trey Sullivan could be that third safety, but hey, bring Corey Graham in. You keep Trey Sullivan and see what happens. If Trey Sullivan's playing very well, that's great. That's good news to hear. He wants to play. He wants to do his thing and go out there. So he's not just going to be hard hitting. He's not going to be a flash in the pan. Trey Sullivan is learning how to be consistent and do his thing out there on the field. So that's freaking awesome, okay? That's awesome. So the last bit of news I want to talk about, Jay Ajayi, Deuce Staley pretty much said, hey, Jay Ajayi is going to be our featured back. He is going to be the guy that gets most of the carries because he was a workhorse in Miami, okay? And now he could be the workhorse in Philly. So he had, what, two seasons ago, 1,200 yards. I mean, had a Pro Bowl year. So he's a Pro Bowl player. I think if you kept him on the Eagles all year last year, he would have had over 1,000 yards. Hands down 1,000 yards. And that's not a lie. I'm not trying to fucking elevate his status. I'm not trying to hype him all up. Guy's a good running back, a violent, shifty running back. So that's really all I got to say, guys. So that was the news from yesterday. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for the support. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting and really keep my ears. I've been reading your comments, guys. I'm not ignoring. I've just been on vacation, doing my thing, having fun. I'll be back Saturday in the afternoon, so I've been having a good time. So that's about it. So shake, squat up, fly, goes fly. Peace.